Today we're going to cover the features included in the Pixlee dashboard. Here on the dashboard is home base for your team to check out things like noteworthy content, top evangelist and influencer, as well as make any changes to products or content. Let's start with album. When a brand signs on with Pixlee, they're going to create an album by setting up search parameters for things like hashtags and @ mentions on various social media channels. Pixlee collects from Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We also can pull content that is from our direct uploader, which is a button installed on widgets where customers can upload directly from desktop or cell phone. You can pull content into a specific email domain, encouraging customers to email in their content, integrate with API, and add any of that content your team has collected in the past. Going back to Instagram, let's start with setting up a little bit of a search. You can input hashtags, multiple hashtags together or separate. Backdate this content to retroactively find all of that content the brand has earned over time. User handle, mention anyone who has @mentioned your brand in a social media post. Photo tag, like the little black box on the bottom of the photo, and geolocation. So this can be helpful if a brand is wanting to collect from a brick and mortar store, a pop-up. If they're sponsoring an event, they can put in an actual location, filter this up to be fine-tuned to 0.1 mile or as long as 3 miles, and input an additional hashtag. So if someone checks in at a location and has a specific hashtag, it'll be pulled into this album. Again, this content can all be retroactively collected. Once that's all set, you can start your collection and Pixlee is going to take care of the rest. Right off the bat, Pixlee is going to provide you with a feed of all of the content that met that search query that we plugged in and provide you with photos and videos that you can check out and filter even further. You can filter to top influencer content, the content posted by the person with the highest follower count. Top evangelist, this is the person who's posting about your brand most often. Top content is that's performing the best on social media. We also have spam detection that your brand can set up. Additional filters can be found over here on the left, searching for things like the date that a photo was submitted, follower count, like count, image recognition. This is something where you can actually filter through with Pixlee's proprietary technology to check out content that matches a certain visual search term. For example, let's hit tree. Pixlee's visual search is going to cross-reference all of the photos in that feed and present you with content that only matches that visual search. If the term you're looking for isn't over here on the left, you can always search in the search bar. A couple more filters that are available are the content type. So if a brand wants specifically photos or specifically videos, they can filter that down here, as well as content source and location. Pixlee's got several offices across multiple countries, so you can filter and find content posted from a specific location. Once your brand has found photos that they like, you can go ahead and approve and deny content. This is someone on your team saying, this photo's on brand, this is the kind of user-generated content that we'd be okay using in our marketing touch points. Once a photo has been approved, you can toggle over here to the left side to the Approved tab. See that feed of photos. Click on an individual photo. Gather some more information about the photo. Maybe checking out the location it was posted from, date, likes, follower count, as well as metadata associated. On a collaborative front, you can leave internal notes to one another saying, hey, Melanie, let's use this photo for next marketing campaign. Let's post this on social on Thursday. If you did want to post it on social, you can schedule posts to Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter all at once. If you'd like to gather permission for this photo, there's a couple of ways you can do this. Regular permission is going to send out a pre-templated message in the form of an Instagram comment to the poster saying something along the lines of, hey, we love your photo, we'd like to use it, reply back, #YesPixlee @Pixlee. You'll preload these templates with advice from your account manager on the best practices here. You can select which template, check the box, and hit send. Two-factor permission is a little bit more robust form of permissioning where it's going to send something along the lines of that same message, but it's actually going to link to an outside page where a customer can agree to terms of service and actually fill out a form. Commenting is also available within the Pixlee platform, so if you want to just work on some community management, you can add a comment, write in your comment, or again, choose from a preset template like, great photo, check us out. Once you've sent out your request for permission, you can always check in over here on the left in the permissioning section to find what photos were granted permission, two-factor permission, or maybe are awaiting permission. You can either click on the section or notice this green box letting you know that the customer has given permission for the photo usage. Next step before publishing is assigning the products to these photos. This is going to give the brand an e-commerce call to action so customers know exactly what products are in the social media photo. When you sign on with Pixlee, whether that's from Shopify, Magento, Demandware, or maybe something custom, a product feed is going to be imported over here on the right so customers can find the products that match the social media photos. You can either scroll through and select the product that works, or keyword search, check in the SKU, whatever method is best for you. Additionally, Pixlee has hotspots and tags where you can have multiple products in a single photo with a hover over location. For example, this particular area can be this product, and this particular area here can be another. When a customer interacts with the widget on the front end, they'll be able to hover over and see the products on different regions on the photo, or just see all of the products in a single place. Another thing you can do within the platform is assign tags. So you can think of tags as a category. Maybe something like men's, women's, kids, shoes, whatever the occasion is that matches what the brand considers their categories. They can assign this to different tags so that the album will be populated with all photos that have to do with, for example, men. Once you tag these photos, you can always revisit them here in the album section, whether that's the products or the tags section, showing you for each product how many times a photo has been tagged to that, clicking in, seeing all of the photos tagged to that product, and checking in on the price, SKU, and other inventory information. Going back and recapping what we've done so far, we have collected content based off of social media search terms, approved content, gotten permission from the customer, and added e-commerce tags and products. Next step is publishing this content. Here you'll see all of the different channels where you can publish Pixlee content. For now, let's walk through website display. When you create a new widget, you're going to name this. This is for internal purposes, so you can easily identify and modify widgets at any point going forward. Here we'll just say it's Pixlee homepage. You can select an album that you want to have that content pull from, and then set filters. By checking a box, Pixlee is able to help display content, something like only products that are in stock. So for example, if a product is no longer in stock, it'll fall off of the widget. Maybe you want only photos that have been permissioned. Any of these filters can just be checked. Pixlee takes care of the rest. Now we get to the fun part of customizing the look and feel of the widget. The design of Pixlee widget is out of the box with additional customization if needed. You can select from any pre-templated gallery layouts. If you'd like to set up interactive social hub, you can do so by adding content from the tags that you've created, like we talked about men's, women's, children's, setting that up, and content auto-populates. Lightbox type. If your products are already assigned, no need to worry about this, but you can decide if you want a blank default lightbox, adding a call to action, or direct add to cart, which is an add-on feature of the Enterprise Edition. Further customizing the widgets, we get to add text and styling to what matches our brand above these widgets. So you'll notice as I'm typing, the text is actually showing up on the screen. This enables brands to not need a designer, test things out, make adjustments, and understand what's going to work for their brand and feel confident when publishing. This View Gallery button is going to allow a customer to go from one widget to another. The URL is customizable and will be generated within Pixlee. And then we get to the theme. Pixlee has out-of-the-box themes that you can choose from. You'll notice this one has larger product images and colored social media icons. This one has less color, smaller product images. Any of these preset templates are available by just checking a box, but should you want to customize the theme, you can do so here. Fonts are able to be changed to match the company's branding. If it's not from this drop-down menu, they can drop in the font URL here. Adjustments made to the font color, size in the header area, as well as the load of the widget. So maybe someone doesn't want as many photos loading. Maybe they want the hover over animation to be turned off. Adjustments to the lightbox, call to action, product, buy now call to action, as well as the uploader, customizing that uploader field for that add your photo button. Brands can decide what inputs they'd like to collect from the customer. Something beyond maybe like name, email, maybe they want to collect size, location, gender, any of that, it's customizable here. Should you need to do additional customization, custom CSS is always available for your team here. Last step is setting the sort order. When a customer is viewing a widget, there are some settings you can have to decide what content is shown to that customer first. We recommend the dynamic option. Pixlee's proprietary technology displays top converting content first, but should you be running something like a contest or campaign, you can display content that has the highest number of votes, or maybe is the most recently added, or random. Should a customer need advanced filters, they can set things like being optimized for mobile, load priority, and video play settings. And once they've done that, we're all set. You can always get a preview of what the Pixlee widget is going to look like by hitting the top right button here. Assuming you like how everything looks and feels, you can go on back and hit Generate Embed Code. Now these 3 lines of code are JavaScript, and what you do is you're going to copy this and paste it in a container on the back end of your site where you want the widget to live. The great thing here is this is a one-time code drop. Let's say once you publish it on the site, you've decided that you want to make some changes to the design. You can log into your Pixlee account, go to the Publish Center, and as we named it Pixlee homepage, we know that's when we were working on. We can just hit Edit or Embed Display, make any changes. Let's say we want to change the theme, save, and changes are pushed through to the website without needing to change the code. Some additional changes that also come into play are as products go in and out of stock, as new photos are approved and added to the widgets. None of the code needs to be changed. It's all done within Pixlee. One thing to note is Pixlee does have access control offered within the Enterprise Edition. This allows you to set rules so that you can decide what team members are allowed to do what features on the Pixlee platform. So if only certain people are able to publish or edit the display, that can be set up in the Access Control Center. So that's the process of website display. Similar process goes for email. We're going to move over here to email, publish a new display, and we have two options. You can do a standard email display. This is something like a newsletter or welcome email that is sent to largely your entire database and the content doesn't change. If you want to do something like a triggered email, like a back in stock, post-purchase review, or even abandoned cart, those can be set up with Pixlee as well. For now, we'll just walk through standard. Just as we named the display for the website, we're going to do the same for email. First step is additional design customization. You can get a preview of what it would look like in an email layout. Deciding how many photos you want to have show up, or the width of the email, display order, photo style, additional design settings. Font, text, any sort of customization here. And additionally, setting through the click-through link and the ESP merge tags. So what is notable here is Pixlee is going to add dynamic content into your existing emails. So Pixlee works with email service providers. While we are ESP agnostic, we do have a few listed here, where you can set these merge tags to automatically set up analytics tracking and generate the proper embed code that is going to be in the form of HTML this time, so that you can just generate this code and drop it into your emails. I'll briefly go over some of these other features. A landing page is a Pixlee hosted landing page. This is something that can be helpful for a brand if they have a hard time getting developer resources, or maybe they want to set up a temporary campaign. Pixlee can actually host this landing page for you. And it's going to look almost exactly the same as what we've gone through with setting up this design customization. You'll just add additional branding to make the header of the page distinguish why someone is on that page. Once this is all set, you can generate the URL and you're all taken care of. User-generated content can also be published on Facebook tabs and shoppable Instagram, which is the link in the bio that will redirect to either a brand hosted or Pixlee hosted landing page, showing what looks a lot like the Instagram feed, but this time a customer can click on the photo, see the product, and go right to the product detail page. If a brand ever wants to have user-generated content displayed on a screen at either an event or a brick and mortar store, this is as easy to set up as selecting an album and generating a URL. This can be really effective for if a brand wants to encourage people to share photos in real time. Someone can edit Pixlee content on the fly and it will show up right on the screen in real time. And this is just a couple of the ways you can edit this display, changing the text. All again, but changes showing in real time. Pixlee's SDK allows us to embed user-generated content widgets into mobile apps. We can also plug in to ad units. And should the customer need additional integration or customization, Pixlee does have an open API. So that's the walkthrough of the publishing process for Pixlee. Then we get to the fun part of really checking out the analytics for a brand. I'm now in the Pixlee Analytics Center. This is going to be the hub for your brand to understand what the ROI is for Pixlee on the social side, content performance side, as well as commerce. All reports are customizable based off of a date range and can be exported as a PDF. Starting here with social. When brands plug in their social accounts, Pixlee is going to be able to help them understand their engagement on social channels like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, seeing if their likes and comments ratio is changing. Maybe more people are submitting photos, their photos are gaining more reach, and associated hashtags and handles. So when someone is posting hashtag Pixlee memories, what other hashtags, keywords, or app mentions are they talking about? This could be a great way for you to explore micro communities and maybe do some community management and outreach. Next section of the social analytics is the top social users. Pixlee will help you identify the top influencers and top evangelists posting about your brand, so you make sure you're never missing a really great post about your brand. You can view the submission of individual posters or add them to our social CRM, which we'll come back to shortly. Top social content is broken down by channel, so you can see of all the content posted by your fans on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and more, what content is getting the highest engagement. Last section on the social analytics portion is location. Pixlee will tell you the top submission locations. So if your brand is trying to boost its presence in San Francisco, we can tell you exactly how many submissions and the source that it came from, so you can understand what type of content is coming from where. Then we move into content. Content ROI. This is a tool that helps showcase that by collecting user-generated content, the brand is saving money rather than paying for media. So you can see here, it breaks down how many photos were collected within Pixlee, approved and permissioned, or what you can do here is plug in the estimated dollar amount for what a paid media item would cost. What Pixlee does is calculate the saved photography costs of using user-generated content. Moving on to performance. When you place a widget on your website, Pixlee is going to be able to track the buyer's journey so that you can understand how many people viewed a widget, engaged with a widget, clicked through on various navigation, whether it was a light box or share, and then clicked the call to action. You can understand how many times a widget was viewed, clicked on, shared, and voted on an individual widget level. And taking that a step further, actually getting conversion funnel analytics, tracking all the way to add to carts and conversion, giving you the number of products sold, the total revenue, the top products with associated dollar amounts, as well as the top converting photos. You'll notice here that we track the conversion rate and average order value. These are two benchmarks that customers often see a lift with Pixlee. So what we do here is a side-by-side comparison of customers who interacted with Pixlee versus those who did not. So you can get a clear indication on whether or not people are converting at a higher rate and if they're spending more money on an order. Similarly, Pixlee tracks website engagement, time on site, average number of visits, repeat visit rate, so you can understand if customers who interact with Pixlee are spending more time on site and coming back more than those who didn't. Next is email engagement. So as we walk through the publishing flow with email, and we named these emails, we can also track open rate, Pixlee click, so people who clicked on Pixlee specific content, the number of conversions, and the conversion value, being able to attach a dollar amount to emails for customers that you may have lost through something like a triggered email. User breakdown is going to show you the performance of individual users who are posting about your brand. You can filter to those with the highest follower count, how many times they've submitted the content, and again, if you'd like, adding them to the social CRM. We skipped ahead and covered conversion, but the takeaway here is that all of this information is updated in real time within the Pixlee platform, can be viewed in the Analytics tab, and exported at any point as a report for your team to review and reshape their marketing tactics based off the information that Pixlee provided you with. Moving on to the next section is the Pixlee Social CRM. This is home base for your team to discover and manage influencers posting about your brand. When you sign on with Pixlee, you can import a CSV with the Instagram influencers you're already working with, or you can add influencers manually or add them through that Add to Social CRM button within the Pixlee platform. You'll also set up your settings for what you consider branded content. So anytime any of these influencers either hashtag, @mention, or keyword your brand, Pixlee is going to flag them over here on the right under branded content. So you'll be able to quickly, at a glance, look at all of the influencers that you're working with, add any sort of tag, like maybe you sent them a free product, they're a paid influencer, they're on your watch list, overall social information like their Instagram follower account, average engagement rate across all of their posts, and again, that branded content, so you can quickly see who's posted content about you, who had the highest engagement rate, and if you want to click in, get even more information about the individual poster. This is a great tool for your team to collaborate on what your efforts have been with influencers. You can auto approve and auto permission content, so it'll always have that green box saying it's permission. If you've pre-set up terms with them where you have permission to use their photo, add and adjust those tags, leave internal notes, like maybe wears a size 9 shoe, something like that. Over here on the right, you're gonna see a feed of all of your interaction history with this influencer. You can log these interactions by creating a new activity like write a note, gift sent, email sent, or you can attach a date, a monetary value, and any sort of notes so your team knows when to follow up with them, what the last arrangement was, or maybe if you sent them product, making sure you're not double dipping and sending them the same thing. In this activity feed, you'll also be able to be alerted of all of the photos posted about you that user had, so you don't have to filter through all of their other photos. Within the analytics section of each influencer, we'll give you a preview of the 12, for example, photos posted about you from this influencer, the engagement rate on those photos, and overall engagement. All of these can be filtered, so if you want to see those with the highest likes, you can quickly set that here. And additionally, you can always find their contact information here. Maybe something like their phone number, mailing address, email address, any of that information saved here so that anyone on your team can say, hey, what's up with that influencer? When did we last interact? What were the terms? They can quickly find it in Pixlee Social CRM. The last feature that we'll cover today is the Calendar tab. This is where you can view all the photos that you have set to go out on social media through the Pixlee Social Scheduler, as well as see what's gone out in the past. So going back to our inbox, we'll check out some of that content that we've approved. And let's go ahead and play with scheduling. You can click on an individual photo, come to the right, scroll all the way to the bottom and hit Other Actions and Schedule Post. Pixlee Social Scheduler allows you to post to Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Twitter. You can schedule to all of these channels at once or just one. We'll use Instagram as our example today. First step is just choose the account it's coming from, adjust the caption, set the date and time for the post, and if you want to include it in shoppable Instagram. If a product's already tagged, it will be shown up here. But if you want to include in your shoppable Instagram and you haven't added a product, you can go ahead and do so now. And boom, you're ready to schedule the post. Once you schedule this post, you can view it in the calendar or Pixlee's mobile app. Pixlee has an iOS or Android app where you can approve photos as well as adjust anything to do to go out on the social scheduler and give that final green light before a photo goes out on Instagram. If you want to see what kind of content is due to go out on each channel, you can view the calendar, filter through to where you want it to be from. And the calendar will provide you a feed of what photos are due to go out at what date and time, enabling you to make any sort of adjustments as well as social planning. Just a quick tip, brands can also add content that might not be user-generated content acquired by the Pixlee platform into the platform and schedule all of their social content out through Pixlee. This section over here would be showing you where you have the feed of the photos due to go out. You can also hit past and see what content's gone out to make sure you don't double schedule. That's the quick overview of the Pixlee platform's basic functionality. Reach out if you have any questions to your account manager or hit the support tab to learn more.